Expressing future time, part 2. So in this chapter, we're going to go over chapter 11, more on the future tense. It may rain tomorrow. Anita may be at home now. May plus a verb, simple form, expresses a possibility in the future, as in A, a present possibility, as in B. It might rain tomorrow. Anita might be at home now. Might has the same meaning as may. Tom will be at the meeting tomorrow. Miss Lee may or might be at the meeting tomorrow. The speaker says will because he feels sure about Tom's presence at the meeting. The speaker uses may or might to say, I don't know if Miss Lee will be at the meeting, but it is possible. Miss Lee may or might not be at the meeting tomorrow. So the negative form has the same general meaning. So when you use may and might, that means there's doubt that that action will take place. When you use will be, then you're certain that that action will take place. Incorrect. Miss Lee will be at the meeting. May and might are not used at the same time as will. You either use may or might, or you use will, but you can't use them together. Miss Lee will be at the meeting tomorrow. So you can't, Miss Lee will be at the meeting tomorrow. So you can't use might and will at the same time. So here, I will be in class next Monday. That means definitely, I am sure I'm going to be in class tomorrow. Well, maybe I might be in class, tomorrow. It's possible, but I'm not sure. So when you're not sure, you say may or might, and when you're really sure, you say I will. So that's the difference. So I may eat breakfast tomorrow morning. I might not eat breakfast tomorrow morning. I don't know. Or I definitely will eat breakfast tomorrow morning. I may be in class tomorrow. I might be in class tomorrow. In other words, you're not sure. Or I will be in class tomorrow means that you're definitely sure you're going to be in class tomorrow. I may get an email from a friend of mine tomorrow. I might get an email. I may not get an email. So all of that represents doubt. I will definitely get an email from a friend of mine tomorrow. Don't you wish that life was filled with will, that you know exactly, you're sure something's going to happen? But unfortunately, life is messy and you've got doubt. So I may or might watch TV for a little while after dinner tonight. Or definitely, I will watch TV for a little while tonight. We may have a grammar test in class tomorrow. We might not have a grammar test tomorrow. It depends on how you behave. We will have a grammar test tomorrow. It means that you're very definite. Definitely tomorrow, you're going to have a grammar test. I may eat dinner at a restaurant tonight, or I may stay home. I will definitely go out and eat dinner at a restaurant tonight. It may be cloudy tomorrow, may be sunny tomorrow, may be rainy tomorrow. Nobody knows. It will definitely be something tomorrow, okay? So you just have to wait and see. The sun will rise tomorrow morning. I may choose a career in music after I finish school. The population of the earth will continue to grow. Cities will become more and more crowded. Some people think we may communicate with beings from outer space soon. So as soon as there's a little doubt, you use may or might. So here, will Abdullah be in class tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe Abdullah will be in class tomorrow. Maybe he won't. And so the adverb maybe, which is one word, means possibly. So when you have an adverb can come anywhere. So maybe Abdullah will be in class, maybe Abdullah will be here. So maybe comes in front of a subject and a verb. Abdullah may be here today. So maybe, two words, is used as the verb of a sentence. So when it's used as a verb, it's two words. And when it's used as an adverb, it's one word. That is the word maybe. Maybe it will rain tomorrow. It may rain tomorrow. Maybe we may go to the art museum Maybe we may go to the art museum tomorrow. Maybe Anne would like to go to the museum with us. Maybe she might like to go to the museum. It's cold and cloudy today. Maybe the weather will be warm. Maybe it's going to be cold and cloudy. Maybe it's going to be sunny. Who knows? I may be a little late tonight. That's okay. I won't worry about you. Will you be here by 7 o'clock? It's hard to say. Maybe I'll be a little late. It may be cold. That's 2 words. Tomorrow. That's okay. Let's go to the beach anyway. I think so, but it may be 2 words, a few minutes late. Do you want to go to the park tomorrow? Sure, that sounds like fun. Let's talk to Carlos too. Maybe 1 word. He would like to go with us. Look, where's Mr. Chu? Look in room 506. I think he may be 2 words. There. No, he's not. I just looked in room 506. Maybe 1 word. He's in room 508. So when it's 1 word, it comes before the subject. When it's 2 words, then it maybe is used as a verb. So that's basically the 2 kinds of maybe. And maybe means like, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Both words have that. The teacher might give a test. Maybe the teacher might give a test. The teacher may give a test. Maybe Janet will be home early. Janet may be home early. Janet might be home early. She might be late. She may be late. Maybe she might be late. It may rain tomorrow. Maybe it may rain tomorrow. It may or it might rain tomorrow. So, is David going to come to the party? I don't know. Maybe. What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't know. I might go swimming. What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't have any plans. Maybe 1 word. I'll go swimming. Where is Robert? I don't know. He may be 2 words at his office. Where is Robert? I don't know. Maybe 1 word. He's at his office. Are Kate and Steve going to get married? 1 word. Maybe. Who knows? Are you going to move to Portland or to Seattle? I don't know. I may move to San Francisco. So that is when you're not sure about something, you use may or might. Where are you planning to go on your vacation? Maybe 1 word. We haven't decided yet. We may go to Florida. So that's how you would do it. What are you going to do? This you would do in class as a group activity. And I've done it before, and it's a lot of fun, asking what are you going to do with each other. So as a class activity, these are all paired group activities you could do in your class. Future time. Before Anne goes to work tomorrow, she will eat breakfast. So before Anne goes to work tomorrow is a future time clause. A future time clause uses the simple present, not will or be going to. And so here, you always use the simple present in the future time clause. You don't say before Anne will go to work tomorrow. You say before Anne goes to work tomorrow, she will eat breakfast. Incorrect. Before Anne will go to work tomorrow, she will eat breakfast. Incorrect. Before Anne is going to work tomorrow, she will eat breakfast. So you always use the present tense in a future time clause. I'm going to finish my homework after I eat dinner tonight. So after I eat dinner tonight is a future time clause. When I go to New York next week, I'm going to stay at the Hilton Hotel. So when I go to New York next week is a future time clause, and therefore you have to use present, the simple present. If the time clause is at the beginning of the sentence, you have to remember to use a comma. If it's at the end of the sentence, you don't need to. So when we go to the park tomorrow, we're going to go to the zoo. So underline the time clauses. After I get home tonight, that's a time clause. Before he leaves the office today, that's a time clause. When I go to the grocery store tomorrow, that's a future time. They're all future time clauses. Before I go to bed tonight, that's a future time clause. After I graduate next year is a future time clause. And notice that when the time clause is at the beginning of the sentence, we put a comma. If the time clause is at the end of the sentence, you don't need a comma. So before I go to bed tonight, I am going to watch my favorite show. I will buy a new coat when I go shopping tomorrow. So always use the simple present in a future time clause. After I finish my homework this evening, I will take a walk. When I see Eduardo tomorrow, I will ask him to join us for dinner. When I go to Australia next month, I will meet my Aunt Emily for the first time. Mrs. Polanski will change her clothes before she works in her garden this afternoon. So always when you have the future time clause, we use simple present. Here you have a group activity. If it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. So just like you have with the time clause, future time clause, when you have an if clause, you always use the simple present. So if it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. And so the if clause, the if time clause it's always in the present. And you never can say if it will rain tomorrow. You always say if it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. We will stay home if it rains tomorrow. So an if clause begins with if and has a subject and a verb. An if clause can come before or after a main clause. So the simple present is always used in an if clause to express future time. If it rains tomorrow, we won't go on a picnic. I'm going to buy a new car next year if I have enough money. If I don't have enough money next year, I'm going to buy a used car. So we can't use will or going to in the time clauses. You always use simple present in the if clause for the future and in the time clause for the future. Always use simple present. If Ali is in class tomorrow, I am going to ask him to join us after class, or I will ask him to join us after class. If the weather is nice tomorrow, I will go to Central Park, or I may go to Central Park. I will stay home tomorrow if the weather is nice. If I feel well tomorrow, I will not go to work. So simple present, always with the time clause. Masako will stay, I made a mistake. Here you have, Masako will stay in bed tomorrow if she is not feeling well. I will stay with my aunt and uncle if I go to Miami next week. If my friends are busy tomorrow, I will go to a movie by myself. If we continue to pollute the land and oceans with poisons and wastes, future generations will suffer. So always with if, you always have to have present tense. So that's very important. So expressing habitual time present with time clauses and if clauses. So this tells you why that whenever you have an if clause or a time or future time clause, you always have to have it in the present tense, because when you mention time, you're talking about a habit, something that happens every day. And so when you have habitual activities, that's when we use the present tense, the simple present, because the simple present expresses a future, expresses something that's happening now and completed. So here, after Anne gets to work, she is going to have a cup of coffee. After Anne gets to work every day, she always has, so it's a habitual present. If it rains tomorrow, I am going to wear my raincoat to school. So if it rains, I wear my raincoat. So this talks about what is your habit. What do you habitually do? And every time you have or express a habit, you have to express it in the simple present. So simple present is used in the time clause. Be going to or will is used in the main clause. So the if clause expresses habitual activities. So simple present is always used in both the time clause and the main clause. So express a specific, so anyway, basically if you use an if clause, it's got to be in the simple present, and then I am going to and will in the main clause, that's where you put the will and going to. When I go to Miami, I will stay with my aunt and uncle. When I go to Miami next week, I will stay with my aunt and uncle. Actually, when I go to Miami, I usually stay with my aunt and uncle. So here, because you have usually, that becomes simple present. Here, when I go to Miami next week, then I would say I will stay with my aunt and uncle. So when it's got to do with in the future, that's when you have it in the simple present. Before I go to class today, I will have a cup of coffee. Before I go to class today, I usually have a cup of coffee. See how usually, as soon as you put in the word usually, this changes this verb into simple present because it indicates a habit. I'm often tired in the evening after a long day at work. If I am tired in the evening, I usually stay home and I usually go to bed. If I am tired this evening, I will stay home and will go to bed. So here they did not put in usually, so that means it's not a habit. Therefore, I would say I will stay and I will go to bed when talking about the future. After I get home in the evening, I usually sit in my favorite chair and I usually read the newspaper. After I get home tonight, I will sit in my favorite chair and I will read the newspaper. So if it's not something that's habitual, then you would write will. People often yawn and often stretch when they wake up. So this is a habit everybody does. Therefore, everything's in the simple present. Before the teacher walks into the room every day, there is a lot of noise in the classroom. So here, something that happens every day, that means you have to have simple present. When I go to Taiwan next month, I will stay with my friend, Mr. Chu. After I leave Taiwan, I will go to Hong Kong. Mr. Hua goes to Hong Kong often. When she is there, she likes to take the ferry across the bay, but she may take the subway under the bay if she is in a hurry, or she will take the subway under the bay if she is in a hurry. So if is a time clause, so you have to put that into simple present. Before I go to bed tonight, I will turn off the lights. Before I go to bed tonight, I usually turn off the lights. I'm going to go to Paris tomorrow, or I'm going to brush my teeth tomorrow after I eat something sweet. When I go to the bathroom, or when I go to do my homework, I'm going to concentrate to get good grades. When I go to do my homework, I always concentrate to get good grades. If the weather is warm tomorrow, I will lie down under the sun. I will visit my friend at the hospital when I will have the time. So, what do you do every day? I work every day. What are you doing right now? I'm studying English. What do you do? I'm a teacher. What did you do yesterday? I went to school yesterday. What are you going to do tomorrow? I'm going to go downtown tomorrow. What will we do if it rains tomorrow? We will stay home if it rains tomorrow. In A and B, what, a form of do, is used to ask about activities. What do you do means what kind of work do you do, or what is your job? What do you do every day? I come to class every day. What did you do last Friday? I came to class. What will you do next Friday? I will come to class. What did you do yesterday evening? I watched TV. What do you do every evening? Or what do you watch every evening? I watch television. What will you do tomorrow evening? I will watch TV. What are you doing right now? I am doing a grammar exercise. What does Maria do every morning? She goes to work every morning. What are the students doing right now? They are working on this exercise. What are they going to do in class tomorrow? They are going to take a test. What did Boris do last night? He went to a movie. So all of this has to do with tenses and the present, past, and the future. So you can practice all of this in class, and then the answers are at the very back of the book. It's usually when I get to do all of these different tenses, it gets very interesting for the students, because they get ESL students get stuck, and we used to have fun trying to guess what all of this was, and then I have to explain to them. They used to get so confused, and then I would explain, and then I used to love seeing their eyes light up as they understood. Oh, so that's how verbs, verbal tenses work in English. Modals, expressing ability. Can you speak a language? Can you play a musical instrument? Can you lift your desk? Can you touch the ceiling? Can you count to 5? So here you're using can. I have some money. I can buy a book. We have time and money. We can go to a movie. Tom is strong. He can lift the heavy box. Can expresses ability and possibility. Yuko can speak English. It's incorrect to say Yuko can to speak English, or Yuko can speaks English. The simple form of the main verb follows can. Speak is the main verb. An infinitive with to does not follow can, so you cannot say you can to speak English. A main verb following can does not have a final S, so you cannot say you can speaks English. So Alice cannot come. Alice cannot come. Alice can't come. So you can either say cannot, or you can say can't. It's all good. So a bird can sing. A horse can't sing. A bird can fly. A cow cannot fly. A child can't drive a car. An adult can drive a car. A newborn baby can walk. A fish can breathe air. A fish can swim. A deaf person cannot hear. A blind person cannot see. An elephant can swim. An elephant cannot climb trees. A cat can climb trees. A boat can float on water. A rock cannot float on water. So that's how you use can, which expresses your ability to do something. Rick can come to the meeting. Rick can't come to the meeting. Can is pronounced can or ken. Can't is usually pronounced with the same vowel as ant, can't. And native speakers usually drop the T, can't. You can barely hear it. Using can with questions. Can you speak Arabic? Yes, I can. No, I can't. Can Rosa come to the party? Yes, she can. No, she can't. Where can I buy a hammer? At a hardware store. When can you help me? Tomorrow afternoon. So here you have the question word can plus subject plus main verb. So that's how we form can questions. So here you would have, can Jean speak English? Yes, she can. Can you speak French? No, I can't. Can Jim play the piano? No, he can't. Can you whistle? Yes, I can. Can you go shopping this afternoon? Yes, I can. Can Carmen ride a bicycle? No, she can't. Can elephants swim? Yes, they can. Can the students finish this exercise quickly? Yes, they can. Can I see the doctor tomorrow? Yes, you can. Can you stand on your head? Yes, you can. Or yes, I can. Can we have pets in the dormitory? No, we cannot. I can swim. I know how to swim, which means the same thing. Can you cook? Do you know how to cook? Which I know how to cook and I can swim. I can swim and I know how to swim have the same exact meaning. I am in Hawaii. I can go to the beach every day. I was in Hawaii last month. I could go to the beach every day when I was there. And so could is the past tense of can. I can't go to the movie today. I have to study. I could not go to the movie last night. I had to study. Could you speak English before you came here? So could is the past tense of can. When I was young, I could stand on my head. When I was young, I could do flip-flops down a hill. Now I cannot because I am much older and I could break my bones. So anything in the past, you use could. Anything in the present, you use can. I am able to touch my toes. I can touch my toes. So A and B have basically the same meaning. I will be able to go shopping tomorrow. I can go shopping tomorrow. C and D have basically the same meaning. I wasn't able to finish my homework last night. I couldn't finish my homework last night. So E and F have basically the same meaning. This box, the box is very heavy, but Tom can lift it. The box is too heavy. Bob cannot lift it. The coffee is very hot, but I can't drink it. The coffee is too hot. I cannot drink it. Very and too come in front of adjectives. Heavy and hot are adjectives. Very and too do not have the same meaning. So very heavy, it is difficult but possible for Tom to lift the box. Too heavy, it is impossible for Bob to lift the box. So here you have it is very heavy, so it's still possible for Tom to lift the box. But here it's too heavy, which means Tom cannot, this guy cannot lift the box when it's too. The coffee is too hot, I can't drink it. The weather is too cold, we can't go to the beach. So in the speaker's mind, the use of TOO implies a negative result. So here, the coffee is too hot, so he can't drink it. Here, the coffee is very hot, but you can still drink it. So the difference between too and very. I have 2 children. So 2 is a number. 2 equals a number. Timmy is too young. He can't read. Anne saw the movie. I saw the movie too. I I talked to Tom. I talked to Jim. I want to watch TV. So 2, 2, and 2 have the same pronunciation, but one of them means the number 2. Then another one means something that's 2, meaning impossible to do because of his youth, Timmy being too young. He can't read. Anne saw the movie. I saw the movie too. So here you have 2 meaning also, and 2 meaning impossible to do something. I talked to Jim. I want to watch television. So here 2 is a preposition to Jim. So Jim is the object of the preposition. I want to watch TV. So here to watch is an infinitive, and therefore to watch television is part of an infinitive phrase. So that's all the different 2's. I like a cup of coffee. Bill would like a cup, TOO. I had TWO, cups of coffee. It's TOO hot. The coffee is 2 TOO hot for me, TO drink. I talked TO Jim. Jan wants 2 TO TOO. So you get the idea. Olga is at home. Ivan is at work. Yoko is at school. Sue is in bed. Tom is in class. Paul is in jail. Mr. Lee is in the hospital. So all of these are prepositional phrases that show you where something is. So prepositions show time and place. At school, at home, at work. In bed, in class, in jail. In is used with the hospital. In the hospital. British English, in hospital. Ahmed is in the kitchen. So in is used with rooms. In the kitchen, in the classroom, in the hall, in my bedroom. David is in Mexico City. In is used with cities, states, provinces, countries, and continents. So in Mexico City, in Florida, in Italy, in Asia. Where is Ivan? At is usually used with locations. In a city, at the post office, at the bank, at the library, at the bookstore, at the park, at the theater, at the restaurant, at the football stadium. He isn't here. He is at the bank. So, is Jennifer here? No, she's at the bookstore. Where's Jack? He's in his room. When I was at work yesterday, I had an interesting phone call. Poor Anita, she's in the hospital again for more surgery. Mr. Gao wasn't in class yesterday. He was at home. He wasn't feeling well. Last year at this time, Eric was in Korea. This year, he's in Spain. Where's Donna? She's in New York. She's attending a conference. There's a fire extinguisher in the hall. The children are at home this morning. They aren't at school. Where's Olga? I was supposed to meet her here at 5. She's at the library. She's studying for a test. Where's Robert? He's in the computer room. There are 37 desks in our classroom. We ate at a good restaurant last night. The food was delicious. Now he is in jail. He's going to be in prison for a long time. Singapore is in Asia. We had a good time at the zoo yesterday. She's at the supermarket. Where can I get some fresh tomatoes? At the market on Waterfront Street. Here's your hotel key. You're in room 609. Is Mike up? No, he is in bed. So the more you listen to English, and that's the only way to learn this, is to really listen to a lot of English for a long period of time, then after a while, it will sound, you'll become like the native speakers. It will sound right to say Singapore is in Asia and not at Asia. Okay, so that's something you just have to listen to a lot of English and hang around a lot of Americans. And the more English you listen to, say you listen to on the radio or the television, or you socialize with Americans, That's the only way to get the prepositions in. It's very difficult otherwise you have to memorize all of this, and that's very difficult because a lot of native speakers, we take it for granted. It just sounds right. But as an ESL speaker, you can't sound it out like that. So you just have to listen and then be around Americans so much so that you become just like the native speakers. That's the only way to know about the prepositions. My clothes, so here, more on modals. My clothes are dirty. I should wash them. Tom is sleepy. He should go to bed. You're sick. You should see a doctor. Should means this is a good idea and this is good advice. So when you give advice, we use should. I should, you should, she should, he should, it should, we should, they should. Should is followed by the simple form of a verb. So you can't say he should goes, and you can't say he should to go. You have to say you should not leave your grammar book at home. You need it in class. You should not leave your grammar book at home. And so should not is the negative, and shouldn't is the contracted way of saying it. So I'm sleepy, you should go to bed. I need to cash a check, you should go to the bank. I have a toothache, you should go to the dentist. I'm getting poor grades, you should go to the tutor. The toilet in my apartment doesn't work, you should call a plumber. I need to get a new visa, you should go to the embassy. My shoes have holes in the bottom, you should get new shoes. So always giving advice is you would say should. People need to eat food. People have to eat food. So when you use have to and has to, that means that you're required to do it. It's got the same meaning as needs. So Jack needs to study for his test. Jack has to study for his test. I had to study last night. Do you have to leave now? What time does Jim have to leave? Why did they have to leave yesterday? I don't have to study tonight. The concert was free. We didn't have to buy tickets. So the question form of do, does, and did is used with have to. All of this means it's something you must do, something that is required, something that you need to do. So what do you want to buy? I have to buy groceries. Oh, what do you want to do? I have to, or I need to go to the bathroom. What do you have to do today? What do you want to do tomorrow? So here's all the things about what you need to do and what you want to do. Using must. So people have to eat food. People need food. People must eat food. All of this is the same thing as has to and have to. So I, you, he, she, it, we, they must work. Must is followed by a simple form of a verb. He must works. He must to work is wrong. You must not be late for work if you want to keep your job. You don't have to go to the movie with us if you don't want to. So must not is stronger than don't have to, because in don't have to, you have a choice. Must means you don't have a choice and it's something you must do. Must means something important. You don't have a choice. You must breathe to stay alive. You must have a heartbeat to stay alive, obviously. You must take an English class or learn English if you want to communicate with Americans. You must eat, otherwise you starve to death. So all of these must are major needs that must be done. You don't have a choice. Now here you have a choice, should. You should not eat junk food. You should study more so you can get better grades. You should go to a tutor so that she could help you get better grades. So all of this is your choice. You don't have to go see a tutor if you don't want to. And there are a lot of people who don't eat their vegetables, so you should eat your vegetables. So that's the difference between must and should. If a traffic light is red, a car must stop. If you want to check a book out of the library, you must have a library card. Nancy has a job in Chicago. According to the law, she must do something. I failed the last 2 tests in my biology class. According to my professor, I must study. So here you have to, if it's according to the law, that's usually must. If you want to become a doctor, you should study medicine, or you must study medicine. May I borrow your pen? Could I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your pen? They all have the same meaning. May I please borrow your pen? Could I please borrow your pen? Can I please borrow your pen? Please is used in polite questions. Yes, of course, certainly, sure, no problem. May I please borrow your pen? Yes, of course, here it is. Thank you, thanks. So here, may I know your name? Sure, my name is Bob. May I enter your office? Sure, you can enter the office. So when you want to be polite, you can use may I, or your partner has a dictionary. You want to borrow it. Can I have, may I have a dictionary? May I please use a pen? May I please use an eraser? So very, very polite way. It's more polite than can I. So a lot of students ask me, which is more polite? May I borrow a pen or can I borrow a pen? May I borrow a pen is more polite than can I borrow a pen or could I borrow a pen? So that's could you please open the door? Would you please open the door? Has the same meaning. Yes, of course, certainly. I'd be glad to. I'd be happy to. Could you please open the door? I'd be glad to. Thank you, please. So, would you please open the door? So could and would have the same meaning. So you want your partner to close the door. Could you close the door? Could you turn off the lights? Could you turn on the lights? Could you pass me the salt? Could you hand me that book? Could you translate a word for me? Could you tell me the time? Could you open the window? Could you hold your books for a minute? Could you lend me $50? Close the door, Jimmy. It's cold outside. Okay, Mom. Close the door is an imperative sentence. So when you have an imperative sentence, this means that you're ordering somebody to do something. If you're saying, usually we use imperative sentences with children, more so than, or with our dog, okay? So you tell the dog, sit down, sit still. So imperatives are used with mainly for dogs or children. Sit down, be quiet, be careful, or if someone's getting, if you're about to step on a needle, don't step on the needle, or something like that. Don't open the window, don't be late. Stop, thief. Open your books to page 24. So imperative sentences give orders, directions, and advice. With the addition of please, imperative sentences are used to make polite requests. We're leaving. Wait for me. Hurry up. We'll be late. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. What's the matter? I have the hiccups. Hold your breath. Drink some water. Breathe into a paper bag. Eat a piece of bread. It's okay. The hiccups are gone. We need to leave soon. I'm ready. Don't forget your house key. I have it. Okay. So those are all imperatives because you're giving an order. And when I was young, my father would say, clean up your room. Of course, I didn't say okay, although that's what I should have said. I would complain. So here, get out of the way. The piano is about to fall on you. Be careful. Okay, that's actually funny. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't touch the soil. You say to the little kid, "Oh no, don't eat my homework." Okay, I just made that up. So Anita can, Anita could, Anita might, Anita must, Anita should, Anita will go to class. An auxiliary is a helping verb. It comes in front of the simple form of a main verb. The following helping verbs are called modal auxiliaries. Can, could, may, might, must, should, will, would. These are all helping verbs. Another word for modal, in other words, these are the verbs that come in front of the main verb, that helps the main verb. Anne is able to, is going to, has to go to class. So these are also known as helping verbs or modal auxiliaries. And so here, and they have the same function as a helping verb. So they're known as modal auxiliaries, and they come before the main verb. So here you have, my sister can play the guitar. We have to pay our rent. Could you please open the window? I wasn't able to visit my friends. You shouldn't drink 20 cups of coffee. Will you be at the meeting tomorrow? Does everyone have to be at the meeting? You must not miss the meeting. It's important. Jennifer might not be there tomorrow. May I use your phone? We couldn't go to the concert last night because we didn't have tickets. So here is a summary of all of the helping verbs and other similar expressions. Can, could, may, might, must. I can sing. Can you please help me? I couldn't go to class yesterday. Could you please help me? It may rain tomorrow. May I help you? It might rain tomorrow. You must have a passport. So here you have ability, polite question, past ability, polite question, possibility. It may rain tomorrow. Polite question, may I help you? Possibility, it might rain tomorrow. Necessity, you must have a passport. Advisability, you should see a doctor. Future happening, my sister will meet us at the airport. Polite question, would you please open the door? Ability, I wasn't able to attend the meeting. Future happening, Tina is going to meet us at the airport. Necessity, I have to study tonight. Past necessity, I had to study last night. See if there's any more. Okay, that seems to be the end of this. I thought it was the end of the chapter. So here, using let's. Let's is used, it's very conversational, and I always tell my students not to use let's in written English because it's too informal. And when you're writing to your friends and family, you can use let's because that's very conversational. But if you're writing to your teacher and you want to use formal English, you don't use contractions like let's. So what should we do tonight? Let's go to a movie. Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired too. Let's take a break. That's a good idea. Let's do something. I have a suggestion for you. So let's go to a movie. I think we should go to a movie. Do you want to go to a movie? The weather is beautiful today. Okay, great. I'm bored. Let's go study. So here it's so let's is used meaning let us. And I think I'm going to stop this video at chapter 14. So if you have any questions, you can always email me.